14 tools and apps to help you in your rent-to-rent or property business. Hello, my name's Mark Fitzgerald. It's great to have you joining me here today. So I'm going to share with you some seriously cool apps and tools that you can use when property investing in your rent-to-rent business, whether it's HMOs, serviced accommodation, or just in your property business, or hell, just in your business anyway, if you've already got a business that you're set up and you're using. These tools and resources are very, very helpful in making sure that you can systemize a business, a property business, very quickly, but equally keeping costs down so that you're not spending vast sums of money, and equally to that, running around like a headless chicken, trying to do everything yourself. The quicker you do this, the quicker you can scale a profitable business, okay? You cannot scale if you're trying to do everything. So let's start first and foremost with your own device. If you're using your phone or you're using a laptop or anything like that, with some communications. So firstly, if you're out there, you're trying to do rent to rent or anything like that, then when I started out, I bought like a £10 burner phone, if you like. It was a pay-as-you-go phone. I used to put a bit of credit on there, but that was the phone number that I used to use for landlords. So if that phone rang, it was a landlord ringing me from my marketing. So I used to send out my marketing letters or postcards or whatever it was that I was sending out, and they would have that number on. So that phone was only ever used for that. But it wasn't very practical, and it meant that I had to wander around with, numerous different phones for different things. So now what you can actually do is have a dual SIM, of course, mobile phone. Or you could download an app. Now, one of the apps that I like to use is called Hushed. Okay, you can get it on Android, you can get it on ISO and Apple and everything as well. But Hushed is you can buy different phone numbers, and of course you can give those out for different things. So you could buy a landlord number, or if you're doing rent to rent and you're sending out marketing, you want to have a localish looking number, or a number that doesn't look so mobile phony. You can buy a phone number on Hushed, and when that rings, it'll tell you it's that number. You'll know that it's a landlord ringing you, so you'll be able to get your posh voice on. You'll be able to make sure that you got your bullet points, your scripts, or anything like that you're using, and it'll make life a lot easier for you. So that's Hushed. That is a great, great thing. So you can have a different number. So if you are managing HMOs, you can have tenants on a different number. So when they ring, it's like, oh, it's a tenant, or it's a landlord number, or you can have it for investors. You can have it for all sorts of different things, but it's just an app on your phone. It will cost you a few quid to buy the numbers. All right. And then if you are calling from those numbers as well, but you can just call from your phone normally. But it's very, very cost effective. Now, a lot of people, if they're doing HMOs, like to have a WhatsApp group with the house. So that all the tenants are in that WhatsApp group, and then if they notify the house, anything that happens, then everybody gets it. I don't like that. I've never liked that. I've never done it either. Why? Because I just think it causes commotions. It causes arguments. Why? Because everybody can see what everybody's saying. And I know that a few people, when we came into COVID times, had their WhatsApp group blowing up by people saying, well, we don't have to pay rent now. And then one person says it, everybody's seen it, and all of a sudden it can spiral out of control. What I use is an app again, but you can use it on your computers as well, called Text Magic. Now, Text Magic is superb. It's predominantly out there for doing campaigns by a text message. So if you have you have a marketing list, you can send. So you have a marketing list. You can send the whole marketing list, if you've got the phone numbers of the people, a text message which says, I'm looking for landlords, or buy my products, or something like that. You'll have had them before. You'll have had them from Vodafone. You've probably had them from other marketing campaigns as well. A lot of the time they may be using the system called Text Magic. Now, what I do is I create all of my properties as a campaign, so that each one is its own campaign. So if I've got a 6-bed property, the people that live in there are in that campaign. Now, if we have to send a maintenance person to the property to do any work, we can send one text message to that campaign, and all of those tenants in that property, if it is an HMO, will get a text message. Now, the beauty of it is they can text you back. So if they have an issue or a problem, they can text you back in the privacy of text magic, because when they text you, only you see it. Not everybody else sees it. So if there is a falling out or a complaint or anything like that, you can send a blanket message out to the property, and only you will see the replies. So it just keeps people in check. It just makes sure that you don't get any silly arguments happening just because everybody can see what everybody's messaging. So that is a fantastic couple of little apps there that you can use, and you can get yourself out there and of course build them into your property business. I always say when you're building a property business, the money is in the follow-up. So you need to make sure you have a good follow-up system. There's some fantastic CRM systems out. Hell, we've had people on this channel talking about CRM systems and follow-up and how you can use their systems and things. So go back to the other videos and check those out, because it's always worth doing a bit of a deep dive, if you like, into what it is that you want to use. But I'm going to share with you some free tools and resources that you can use right here and now. And the first of those is Trello. Now, Trello is an app. You can also use it on your computer as well. And it's like little boards. So what you can do is you could have one board saying, landlords reached out to me. The next one is, have I got a viewing? Have I spoke to them? Yes. And you can move these boards along a cycle. So you can keep tabs on where you're up to with the landlords or the investors or whoever it is you're trying to work with. You can do it with tenants as well if they're doing viewings and things. You can do it on serviced accommodations when you've got your bookings and everything in place. You can also, have a follow-up procedure through Trello that you can use to say, have we followed up with them? Have we got a review? Have we done this? Have we done that? It's a great free tool to use. If you have a team or there's a few of you doing it, you will have to start paying at some point, but you'll get a few boards for free that you can share and you can collaborate with other people on, and it's a fantastic tool to use. I used Trello, and I still use Trello actually, for sort of mind mapping any ideas I have, any systems that I want to bring into my business and things, and it's just a visual guide for me. But what I really use now is a system called Asana. Now, Asana is very, very similar, and again, it's free if it's just you using it. It's very similar to Trello, but I like some of the other features on Asana because I have a virtual team, because I have virtual assistants, PAs and things that I like to work with. So for check-in rents and things, I can set tasks and dates on those tasks, and then I can see if whoever they've been assigned to on my team has done it, whether they've clicked it to say, yes, that's been done and it's checked off, or whether I've assigned them a task to maybe reach out or follow up with somebody, and then they've come back and said, yes, we've followed up with them, and now it needs me to step in to speak to that landlord or that agent or whoever it is, or customer, tenant, whatever. Then they can assign it to me. I can see that it's there, and then I can do it. And of course, then I can either assign it back to them because I've done my bit, or I can just tick it off and say that is done. So I love Asana for that. You can probably do it out on Trello, but I've never really tried. But I do that with Asana, and I have that in my business with my team. And I've just found it works so well and easily for me. Of course, if you're looking at having people schedule calls with you and things, great little apps or systems. Calendly is one where you can send people a link and they can then book a time slot with you. So if you are, maybe trying to get a landlord to book you in and you're toing and froing and it's just becoming a bit of a pain, sometimes it's easier just to say, listen, I'll send you a link, book a time, a slot that suits you. If you cannot find anything on there that suits you, then let me know when's good for you. What it does sometimes is it sharpens the pencil. If they're to and fro and I'm not 100% sure when I'll be able to see you or when I can take you around that property, send them the link and then keep following up with them until they've filled it in. If they haven't and they say, I can't find a time that suits me, then just say, well, what time does suit you? Because at the end of the day, we have to try and be as flexible as we can when it comes to looking at properties, when it comes to working with people. So we need to make sure that we are able to sort of get them to commit to us looking at their properties, particularly if it's landlords and you are doing, rent-to-rent deals or anything like that, or just viewing the properties to buy. So make sure that you've got something in there that's nice and easy to be able to use for that. And if you have multiple people on your team, you can look to use a product that's called 10 to 8. I think it's actually used by beauticians and things. But what we do on that is we can have multiple calendars on there. So I can have my calendar on there. I can have team members' calendars on there as well. So that people, when they book a time slot, it will go to whoever is on there at that time. So maybe I only work Wednesdays and Thursdays. I wish, but maybe that's the only days that I work. That would kill me actually, because I love what I do. But yeah, so only I work Wednesdays, Thursdays, but somebody else works Mondays and Fridays, and then somebody else does Saturdays and Sundays. Say somebody books a viewing on a Saturday, it'll go to whoever works a Saturday on their calendar. I won't even know about it at the time unless I look at the dashboard. And likewise, if they wanted it on a Wednesday, it would come onto my calendar. When I started out, that was something that we used and I was on there. I don't have my calendars on these things anymore because we have people that can go and do these for us, which is where you want to get yourself to if you're not already. But it's little systems like this that can help you do so. And I've gone through a lot of trial and error on this. And this is something I work with my one-to-one clients and people on my rent-to-rent business builder training program and serviced accommodation business builder training program as well. And if you are interested in any free tools and resources, then please do check out thepropertyunleashed.com. You'll have heard me say it 1,000 times. We have free masterclasses on there. We have free ebooks, training guides and things. That's the Property Unleashed, thepropertyunleashed.com. So go and help yourself to all of those. Deal analyzing spreadsheets to help you stack good deals. Download them, use them. If they help you get a deal, then reach out to me and let me know, because I'm always love to hear that. And likewise, reach out to me on Facebook, connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram as well, as we are always looking to build our network up and help and support everybody out there. So make sure that you've got those in place. Equally, when you're starting to build your business and it's just you want to start building processes into your business. You might say, I haven't even got a deal yet. What am I on about processes? But if there's certain ways that you look for deals, data scraping, marketing, getting out there, speaking to agents, landlords and things, start documenting what is basically done on a computer, okay? That you can basically, if you are data scraping for agents and landlords and things, or you're sending out little messages to say, can I speak to you about your properties and stuff? What you can do is you can get a free product. It's free for the first 5 minutes, called Loom. Okay, Loom, Loom. And what you can do there is you can record your screen and you can talk as well. So you can almost make a little training product of what it is that you do. And then that's a process that you can have in your business. Now, why would you need to do that? Because at some point, if you're building a property business, you will need help if you want to build it big. Okay, even if you just want it at a reasonable size, there's going to be certain tasks and jobs that you do in your business that you shouldn't be doing. Okay, you should be paying somebody else to do those. What you want to do is you want to look at your business. There's probably 80% of your time in your business will be running around doing mundane jobs just because they need doing, and 20%, the top 20%, which you won't spend a great deal of time on, is probably the actual 20% that gets you the most results. So by giving out the 80% tasks of like email management, of follow-up, of data scraping, of reference checks, of things like that, you want to be giving those to like virtual assistants, VAs, as soon as you can. But whoever comes and works with you and whatever company they come from, mark my words, they will say, oh, they're fully trained up in that and you'll have to know, you won't have to train them, you can just crack on. You will. You will. We've learned this one the hard way. You will have to train people. So start making these little training videos, these little processes into your business. Get yourself a Google Drive or a D Drive or G Drive or whatever it's called out there. But I use Google Docs. And I use the drive, and I make a folder there, and I'll say like reference checks. This is how you do a reference check on a landlord or an agent or a tenant. and this is it, and I'll do a little training video. And then if something happens to you, you can even ask a friend or a partner to say, just go onto the Google Drive, go to training video 2, and it'll show you what I need you to do now because I'm not very well. Maybe you're poorly, maybe you've got a bad cold or something. There's something stopping you from doing something. But if you've got these little processes here, when you do eventually get yourself a virtual assistant to come and work in your business, and of course they're going to be there to start with, but as soon as you get them like that, you're working well, they'll start making these for you as well, or maybe even making them better for you. But initially, you need to have some training there to be able to pass to them. A lot of people say to me, I don't know what I'd give a virtual assistant, even if I was going to have one. That's because you haven't got any processes there to look at and say, do you know what? They could do those reference checks. They could do that data scrape and put it all onto a spreadsheet and then hand it to me to make the phone calls. Or if they've got something about them, they could actually start making those phone calls for me and basically seeing who they can get appointments with, that then I can walk in there because they could be an associate in my business. Makes you look more professional, makes you look bigger than potentially you are when you start out. So make sure you're starting to build those processes into your business. Little training videos that can help you later on and are worth their weight in gold. Just look at, and if you're just starting out and you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know what to put, I don't know what, I was like that when I started out as well. What I will say to you is, just start documenting what it is you do on a daily basis, okay? Just start writing it down. No rights or wrongs, just everything that you do. Have a little book or something like that just to start writing things down, or even a post-it note. A post-it note just to start writing down what you're doing. I'm doing this, it'll come back and it will serve you so well in the future, okay? So, another form of communication you can use if you're ready for a virtual assistant or you've got a team there is a system called Slack, where you can all communicate, you can all get in there, and that's a great little system to use, quite cost effective. I would recommend that anything like this, don't just take my word for it, go out there and learn it for yourself, make sure that it is right for you and your business. And of course, WhatsApp, if nothing else, with virtual assistants and things, we've always found that pretty much the best. The easiest way to communicate with them is just to use WhatsApp and just have a group with the team. I don't do it with tenants or anybody else outside, but in my own team, we will have those in place for that. Of course, if you're doing marketing, you want to be using Stamp or a company like that, somewhere where you upload your letters, you upload your marketing. Basically, you upload your list of people or landlords that you want to market to in stanp.com, stamp.com. Get them to send your letters out. It'll cost you basically the price of a stamp. If you're doing it yourself, if you're putting letters in envelopes, if you're buying the envelopes, you're buying the stamps, you're printing them all off, you're wasting time. You're wasting time in that 80%. Pay somebody else to do it. Stamp will do it for you. You upload your letter templates. That's what I do with my students. I give them all of my letter templates so they can just upload those straight away. They don't even have to think about it. They just put their own details on there as part of the training. And then they can send their marketing letters out, and we always recommend that they use Stamp to do that. Now, some people, when it comes to marketing letters, will say to you, well, I like to have fancy coloured envelopes, and I like to have it all handwritten. Stamp will do it in different coloured envelopes. I'm not 100% sure, because I've never asked, because I don't see there's any point. If they can actually print it so that it looks like it's handwritten, I'm not sure they have. Maybe they have. I've not seen a feature like that, but that's not to say that it's not there, so you can check it out with them. But let me ask you a couple of questions. Just sit down there now where you're watching this and just answer these, whether you want to answer them out loud or in your head. It's entirely up to you. But when was the last time you ever had a letter that came to you that was addressed to you that you didn't bother opening? Or in my case, I can say that I don't always open my post, but my wife does. So a lot of times I just let her deal with the post, and she'll pass to me what I need and what I need to look at and things like that. But again, it's got my name on it, it's getting opened. So don't worry, don't get too hung up thinking to yourself, well, they won't open it or they won't look at it. What I actually think is if you send it in a coloured envelope and maybe it's handwritten, somebody might actually think that it's a check, it's a card, it's something really fancy, and then they open it up and they just see that it's your marketing, and it might just get their back up anyway. So it might actually force people not to contact you. So just ask yourself that question. When was the last time I had a letter? And I ask this question when I do talks and things, and I've only had one lady put her hand up at the moment, and it only went halfway up, but maybe she was like me, maybe she doesn't open it, maybe her partner opens it for her. But again, it still gets opened, it still gets looked at. So don't get too hung up on that. The way the letters come through stamp as well is they actually look like bank statements in a quite a big white envelope. So they do entice you to have a little look, to keep tabs on things and stuff like that. So it's very, very good. And of course, if you're getting out there, I see more and more people now not having business cards. I don't know whether it's a COVID thing or something like that. You've got to have business cards. You need to have something with your telephone number, your email address, and a little bit, about you to give people, okay? And I always say try and have a picture on there as well, particularly when it comes to networking. If you're networking a lot, I used to have 2 business cards, one without my picture and one with my picture. Because when I was networking, I wanted people to remember me, and it's easy to remember somebody if you've got a picture on it. But when it came to landlords and investors and things, a lot of the time they'd say, well, you've got a picture on it, I'll remember you. So I had 2. You don't have to have 2. I would just say have one and do whichever one fancy. If you've got a professional picture and you're looking smart, use it. Use it. Just stick it on the back or the front or whatever. Have it on one side so people will remember you. Equally to that, don't have them too glossy. Try and have a business card that potentially people can write on a little bit if they want to write any notes down and stuff, because I have seen people do that. And if it's all glossy and they can't write anything in there, then they can't put the notes. Maybe they want to contact you for a specific reason they want to write on the back of the card. But make sure they're professional. Don't print them off yourselves, okay? And I use printed. Now, you can use Vistaprint as well, but I always find their quality's not quite up to standard, or maybe I've just always ordered the wrong type of card. But I use printed.com and I find that they're good. Get a premium paper as well. I always like to try and get a business card that I give to people. Or if I was holding it in my hand, somebody would just say, and it'd probably be me if I was there with you, let me have a look at that. Can I have a look at that? And it's nice, it feels premium, and you're like, oh, can I keep that? If you're doing that, you're onto a winner, because people will remember you. Okay, and it's those little things that can really set you aside when we're out there, when we're talking to people, when we're looking to do deals and things. So another thing, as we're getting ready to wrap this up, that people say to me is, I need a call answering service. I need somebody to answer the calls if I don't, because maybe I'm working full time and I'm putting marketing out there and I'm worried I'm going to miss a call. Listen, first and foremost, keep it cheap, keep it cost effective. Have a professional sounding answer phone. Don't just have generic, welcome to BT answer phone or Vodafone or whatever. And there are some great ones out there. Make sure it's you. So, hi, you've reached Mark Fitzgerald at MRF Property Solutions. I'm ever so sorry I cannot take your call at the moment, but mark my words, I will get back to you ASAP. But please leave your name and your phone number and what it is I can help you with today, and I will get back to you straight away. Most of the time, people do leave a message, okay? If they're really, really shy, they won't, but then if they've rang you, you'll have their number anyway, so you can call them back, okay? But some people say, well, I don't even want I want an answer phone service. If somebody rings me, I want to catch it straight away. Great stuff. There's a lot out there, but be careful. Always test an answer service. So it's basically an answer service is a call center that has loads and loads of people working there, and your calls will be diverted to them and they will answer it if they get round to it. Now, a lot of those that I've used, and I've used lots and lots, but I always test them for myself as well. So once we're set up and things, I always do it every week or every other week. I'll ring myself to see how long it takes for them to answer. And I have had it where they haven't answered, it's gone to the answer phone anyway, and I'm paying for a service here, so it's ridiculous. The best one I've ever come across, which is why I've told you this tale, is a company called B, the letter B, Online. Be Online. Now, they're not cheap. That's probably why they're good, because normally when stuff's cheap, it's not much cop at the end of the day. But Be Online will make it sound like you have your own office, you have your own receptionist, okay? You pay a little bit of a premium for it, and certainly if you've got no property deals, if you've got no money coming into your property business, do not sign up to anybody. Just have a generic answer phone service, okay? But Be Online is the best one I've come across at the moment, and there's always new ones cropping up all the time as well. So I'm always on the lookout for those sort of things. I used Be Online for a brief period. I have a team members now that can answer the phone on my behalf, or at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, I don't really give out. So a lot of the times we have company numbers, with tenant numbers, we have landlord numbers, we have things for people to call the business, but my own personal number isn't really ever handed out anyway. I don't tend to answer my phone, if I'm quite honest with you. I have it, but obviously if my family need me or anything, but I don't tend to talk to people. If you want to have a meeting with me, we'll do it on Zoom. So that is great. And of course, If you need the odd jobs doing, you've got some furniture that needs making, it's not your best time, you're setting up a property because you've just got your first property on board and you're going to build all this flat pack furniture and put it all together, go to a company called Airtasker. Airtasker is very much like the Fiverr. Now, if you don't know what Fiverr is as well, Fiverr used to pay a Fiverr for somebody to make you a logo or edit something or do something like that. Airtasker is very much like that. So there's lots of different tradespeople. And obviously it doesn't work in every area. It's still growing and there are some others out there like Check a Trader and things like this. But Airtasker is very much like you would put on, I've just got a serviced accommodation. I've got 2 bedrooms worth of flat pack furniture, some beds to build up, some other kitchen furniture or tables and chairs and things like that. You take a picture of it all, you note it all down, and then you put it on Airtasker, and then the tradespeople will bid and give you a price for them to come and put that all together for you. The beauty of it is you don't actually pay them, so they come and do the work. You pay Airtasker. Now, Airtasker will ask you once the work's complete, has it been done to a satisfactory level? If it has, happy days, boom, yes sir, Imogen Bob, and then they'll pay the tradespeople. If it hasn't, maybe they left halfway through because they got a call and they had to go to another job and they haven't come back, so they've only done half a job. You tell Airtasker that, Airtasker will take it up for them, and maybe you might even get your money back. Okay, they act as a middle sort of person, so you don't have to worry about tradespeople ripping you off. So it's well worth looking at stuff like that to get the jobs done, to get the work done. Okay, so I hope that these little tools and resources that I've shared with you today, and there's loads and loads more that I could go through, but this is just a flavor of some of them that can help you building your property business. Check out and see what you need. You might not need any of it right here and now, but a lot of it is free, and it's great to start working with certain systems. There's never one system that fits all. There's never one system that will do everything. I wish there was. So see what works for you, start learning what works for you now, and of course start using it, start incorporating it, see if you actually need it. Because sometimes we can actually find systems and put systems in place in our property businesses that we don't actually need. We find that they're great for a week or two, and then less and less we use them. So see what you can get and incorporate into your day-to-day running. If you need any help with anything, please feel free to reach out to me at hello@thepropertyunleashed.com. That's the email. Or visit thepropertyunleashed.com for free tools and resources for training and information as well. We have the Rent-to-Rent Business Builder training program where I will give you the complete roadmap of how to build a rent-to-rent business, plus coaching, group coaching support, and a private Facebook group that you've got access to as well. It's the best out there. We've got the ultimate serviced accommodation business builder, exactly the same with group coaching, training, Facebook support, and the complete roadmap, all the tools and resources, contract scripts, you name it, everything is there. We basically build training products from our businesses. So everything that we've used or use in our businesses, we share with you to help you get great results. And a lot of our clients are getting absolutely amazing results. If you're interested in any of these, then feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to have a chat with you about them. Maybe myself or a team member will jump on a Zoom call and show you what it's all about. So enjoy the next episode. I'm sure you will. Make sure you know what it is that you want to be chasing. You know that vision of yours. You can break it down into bite-sized chunks and you can keep pushing yourself out there to be the winner that you are. You take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.